It's weird.
His communication is totally reflects his mental health. It's not just like he has autism. He has mental health issues. He's up all night long playing video games, doing ketamine, hyperverbalizing about the most random shit in the world. The guy doesn't take care of himself.
Yeah.
What does ketamine do to you?
It disassociates you. It just makes you like have like an outer body experience, or it makes you high basically.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah, much of it.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad wasn't ketamine. Breaking Bad was like meth, bro. That's what they were doing.
I thought they were cooking meth and ketamine.
No, it was just ketamine. It was just meth. Ketamine is a horse tranquilizer, so it makes you feel like very mellow and very tranquilized, I guess you could say. And anyways, who gives a shit about Elon Musk, bro? Elon Musk is irrelevant, honestly, to a lot of shit. I mean, at the end of the day, I think this whole thing is like a show that they're putting on for everybody, him and Trump. That's what I think.
Trump made his money from Tesla, and now he said, "Thank you very much. I made my money. Fuck off."
See, Elon
dropped a lot yesterday.
Elon is just a very annoying person. That's what it comes down to. Is you can't hang out with him too long because he's just like a toxic, annoying person, and he basically got the boot when Trump gave him the key. He was like, "You're a patriot. Here's the key, but stay the fuck out of my business now." That's what he told him, basically.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think they're doing it because now it's an excuse for them to be able to release the Epstein files. That's what I think.
They're not going to release the Epstein files. I mean, that's like a national secret.
Are they going to release the Juan Epstein files?
They will now that he said that something about Trump being inside of it. Now the Democrats are going.
No, I'm talking about Juan. Norm, you remember Juan Epstein?
You're saying basically, if they did that, I would say welcome back.
Well, I think there's some hedges being done, and Juan Epstein.
Randy, you're showing your age because I think half the people don't know what you're talking about.
No idea.
Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter.
And by the way,
there was
Randy,
a character on the show named Juan Epstein.
Somebody once compared me to Vinnie Barbarino.
Oh yeah, even John Travolta.
and by the way, Randy, you know that we don't have like 80 to 90% support of people for Israel here in America anymore. You know that, right?
Well, we disagree.
I mean, you could disagree, but go look at what's going on in this country.
Did you say any more, Harry? When did we have 80 to 90%? It's been a very long time that we don't have.
I mean, maybe back in the day, I don't know, but like, it's definitely not 80
I'm talking
90%
about
of
support
Americans.
for the existence of Israel. I'm
No,
talking about
I
support
don't even
for the
think
very
people
fact
support
that
that.
it exists.
Americans don't even support that, honestly.
Okay.
Did you see the new guy running for mayor of New York?
Yeah, he's an asshole. He won't get anywhere. He will not be elected.
I pray you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
What did Trump say? What did Trump call people? Oh, he's a beauty.
Yeah. I mean, yes, there'll always be assholes. And by the way, I'm not saying we can't be vigilant. Again, I'll say it again, the strength of Israel is not magic. It's this work of giants who've put their whole lifetime into it. And not into building relationships, into building and planting. Yeah, it's work. Work. And the support of Israel in the U.S. is a result of work. It's not magic. So I hope that people keep working, because the powers against it are quite big. So good luck.
Are you really hoping this new generation of kids are going to be working like that? Then they're going to be the next politicians. You think that they're going to be all for Israel? They're out there on the streets protesting every day against Israel.
That's right. Listen.
It's just politics.
We have to stay positive. That's all. Yes, there's always bad news. There's always been bad headlines. There's always bad news. I'm not in denial. It's grim. But there's a lot of positive people working, and hopefully they will prevail.
By the way, the new generation in Israel is much more conservative, believe it or not.
Things change. Things change. They go back and forth. And,
in 1 year the population is right in Israel, the next year they're fucking left in Israel. That's how it is in Israel. They're very, they're very formative to what's going on, so right now the majority, you see how they're, pro Israel, Zionist, whatever, and then when there's no war, you see how they all want to make peace and shit like this, so it's very flip-flop in Israel.
I think that's gone. That's never gonna come back again.
After this?
Yeah.
What's never going to come back? Peace and love?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
People forget.
it's
Well,
like
I hope there's gonna be enough people to remind them.
some people don't forget. Some people nurse their resentments for centuries, like the Serbs, with their resentment against the Ottoman Turks. I mean, they had a defeat in Kosovo on the field of blackbirds in the 14th century. And then in the 20th century, they attacked the Bosnian Muslims.
And the
Tried to
thing is, Jay, think about it. What they have to forget now? They have to forget their own friends that they lost. And those was very young people. So it's gonna take a while, at least a generation or two, until they're gonna be able to actually forget. Because the people that got killed was very young. How you can forget them? Unless you're not a human being. Can you forget Shlomi? Can you forget Jake?
Jake, nope.
So,
Nope.
how you want to forget?
Listen, the Holocaust happened. The world changed. We had
Look
grandparents
how
that told us stories. A
Look
lot of
how
the stories faded. If you live in America, it was, my grandfather, and a lot of people are not connected.
So you're going back to my words. America is the problem. You're going back to my words. America is the problem. And it's not that America is the problem. It's the Jews in America that they are the problem.
Listen, the other day when they were stopping, I think it was the Columbia students, and saying, we're not going to let you go until you take off your masks and show us ID. And I don't know what ended up happening at the end. I looked at a lot of their heads, and from their heads, you could tell they were American. And you're like, okay, so how many of them are Jewish? How many of them are shitting right now because they're going to be exposed? And how many of them were actually exposed? Because I didn't see the end of that. I didn't see that when they said they won't let them leave. Illumi, do you know what happened at the end? Are you here? I don't know if she's here.
I didn't see that. What is that story?
That the cops came and said, we're not letting you leave till we see
They
your
got
ID.
arrested. There was a massive arrest, but they're not being outed like, oh my God, I'm Jewish and now I'm going to be found out. These are idiots that are proud of it. And
Where
say that
were
they
they?
should again.
What were the circumstances?
They stormed the library in the middle of finals, and then they got locked in, and the cops wouldn't let them out without showing ID. And they were chanting.
And so what happens? They get ID, they get arrested, then they get a slap on the wrist, and they're back doing it the next day. So what's the actual punishment?
Exactly.
I mean, that's been happening in New York for how long now? That's nothing new. New York, California, all those fucking states and those colleges there, all that shit's been happening. Even during the George Floyd fucking protests and stuff, people were getting arrested during those protests and riots, and then they would release them the next day with no charges.
Yeah, the stupidity.
That's just all the lefty states, like, people stop doing it.
Too bad that the rest of the states not joining to Florida.
Yeah, I know. Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Trump is taking away, or he's stopping Harvard from bringing in international students. Now he's banning that from happening there since they didn't want to.
The courts are already shutting him down, at least momentarily. They stopped it.
Yeah, but it's in the process still, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, just like the stupid judge that stopped that terrorist family from being deported.
I don't know if you saw this, but 3 Americans were killed in Jordan like a couple days ago, and supposedly it's an Iranian-backed terrorist organization that killed these 3 U.S. soldiers. But you don't hear about that in the news.
Didn't hear about that at all, actually.
I didn't hear about it either. But Doc, I don't know if you know the guy Doc in here. 2 women, nobody knows this, but 2 women and a man were killed at a U.S. military base in Jordan. While they're sleeping, a drone attacked them and killed them, blew them up.
Americans?
Yeah, 2 women, 2 soldiers, 2 female soldiers and a male soldier. I can get you the
When
link.
was that?
2 days ago, 3 days ago. Let me get you the link.
And that's not breaking news, huh?
Apparently not, because
It has to do with Muslims, so it's not going to be breaking news. America feels bad for Muslims.
I mean, I'm surprised there's not a military response to it, but seems like right now they don't want spillover.
Apparently
You know what?
Greta's boat is going to get there tomorrow. I can't wait to see what happens.
I might be wrong. This actually happened in 2024. My bad. Yeah. I looked at it the other day. I was like, holy shit. I was like, why isn't this in the news? It turns out, yeah, it happened in January of 2024.
I found it very hard to believe that Trump gonna bypass shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's to do with American soldiers? No way. He's just going to let that shit go under the bus.
This is the biggest pride of him.
Contact me directly and I will personally make sure. Please respond.
Let's see. I'm going to see what's going on with this Greta dumb bitch. See what's going on Twitter.
She really is stupid. It's like, you see the photos of her taking like glamour shots on the sailboat. She's like an influencer, sociopath. And I don't know if you've seen the photos of her, but when she gets arrested, she's like smiling, and the police are like, it's a photo op. Like, the bitch is a propagandist, and her parents have created like a multi-million-dollar propaganda business around her. I hope the Israeli Navy takes the ship, arrests her, and puts her in an Israeli prison.
They're going to. Either they're going to do that, or they're going to turn the boat around. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I hope, like, they just let her go into Gaza, and then she could just get hanged in Gaza, like, like they did to that Italian guy that went there and became friends with Khania, took pictures with him, and then eventually, like, got kidnapped, and they hung him and killed him. They're retarded. He did the same shit, and he came on a boat and everything like that.
I don't know, arresting her and the rest of those people and then like immediately flying them back is probably the best, public relations approach.
Also, let the guy from Games of Thrones get fucking kidnapped too. That would be great, Whatever the fuck his name is, he got banned from going into Israel through the airport as well. And they were like, apparently there was like a drone from Greece and that was flying over their boat like a couple days ago, and they were like,
this drone is an Israeli drone. They bought it from Israel. Israel and Greece have a great pact together to sell weapons. They sell weapons to Greece. We need to break the siege.
I'm like, these people are fucking delusional. What do you really think you're gonna do? You really think you're gonna take a sailboat into Israeli territory and the Israeli Navy or Air Force is not gonna do anything? Good luck.
I just hope that Israel gonna be tough enough, and they're going into a military area, and it's a military that is in the midst of war. So there is only one way to handle that, which is shoot to kill.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna shoot to kill, because if they do that, then what's it called? That's gonna be all over the news everywhere, and it will be a really, really bad look for Israel, even worse than what's going on now.
It's
So
like
I
the
think
song in South Africa, shoot to kill the farmer.
they're gonna either take her into jail, deport her, or they're just gonna turn that boat around and not let it come anywhere near to Gaza. So that's what I think is gonna happen.
They released a statement saying that they were going to follow proper protocol. So if somebody just runs up on them, they'll deal with it.
She was saying drones are following her, but she didn't post any videos of any drones.
But they were confirmed from Greece. They were blaming Israel, but they were from Greece.
It's the Jews' fault.
Always. Don't you dare to forget it.
The best thing would be I'm telling you, to let them go to Gaza, let them get kidnapped by either Hamas, PIJ, whoever jihadists are there that hate the West.
But you know what they can blame, Harry?
They can blame whoever they want, but at the end of the day, Israel's not the one that killed them. That's whatever jihadist there that killed them, right? And that's, and then the whole world would be like, what the fuck? Greta got killed by jihadists.
It's not true what you're saying, Harry, because then they're going to come with complaint to Israel why Israel did not save them.
I mean, they can say that, but, at the end of the day, that wasn't their goal. Their goal was to go break the siege in Gaza, not to go have Israel save them, right?
Well, then it doesn't matter. They're still going to blame Israel for not saving. How are you claiming that you're such a great people, but you didn't save them? It's like, damn if you do and damn if you don't.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. Do you think, like, with somebody like Cynic, is it going to be like, why didn't Israel save her? Like, I don't see him saying that,
Oh, I see him saying that. I definitely see him saying that, and the guy has zero respect to anything, including himself.
We will see what happens, but I really, personally, I think that Israel won't let them get anywhere close near Gaza, just because that's just how the IDF operates. They're not going to let them get anywhere close near there. They're doing them a favor by doing that, too.
You can be sure that they have that boat wired up with cameras. So if they do get raided, it's their new content piece.
Of course.
No, they can't wait till that happens. They can't wait to post that shit on the internet. Somebody posted a video of her. They were like in the middle of the night sailing, and they're like, look at her facial expressions, and you can see like on her face, she looked very fucking scared and very worried.
Yeah, sailing through the Mediterranean is no cakewalk. I mean, they're definitely risking their lives by doing what they're doing, just based on the natural environment. I mean, they could, they're not even sailing, I heard. Like, they're just using their gas motor. I don't even know how they have enough fuel on that boat to get through the Mediterranean.
I think they stopped somewhere, and they probably refueled, but yeah, I don't know how either, but I don't know. It's funny, because isn't she an environmentalist, so I don't know why they're using a diesel fucking engine to sail through, Because it's not like a regular gas engine, those fucking boats. Those are fucking diesel.
And what if a Hootie's missile lands in the water?
Houthis can't even land a missile anywhere strategically in Israel. I don't think they're gonna.
That's gonna be the fault of Israel. What do you mean? What if?
Yeah, they'll say, why didn't Israel intercept the missile?
I'm worried though that every time they shoot a missile, they're learning how to be better at the targeting. That's what I'm worried about.
You talking about the Houthis?
They're too retarded for that.
You know, they're using a Chinese satellite to do their targeting.
Half an hour later, you got to check on the satellite again.
I think they're too retarded to even understand how a satellite works.
Randy, that was for you.
Sorry, I was on another. Say something again?
Yeah, so I think it was a comedian who said, maybe, I can't tell, that the Houthis are using Chinese satellites for their targeting. And then I pointed out that half an hour later you have to check the satellite again.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah. 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 I say, Houthi, I hardly know you.
So there's an old Jewish Catskills joke, which was what Randy and I run back and forth in the background, that Chinese food is great, but half an hour later you're hungry again. So then you apply that to anything Chinese. Half an hour later you have to do it again.
As they said, the food was terrible and such small portions.
Yeah, the waiter came to my table and said, "Sir, is anything okay?"
Love it.
Oh my God.
What? Bad jokes or some news?
There is another 4 dead soldiers from a booby trap.
You know, I've been to Jordan. I've been to
I
Jordan.
can't imagine what it's like to you watching the news. I can't imagine, man.
I've been to Jordan twice, and the Japanese have spent a lot of money in Jordan doing construction projects to try to create peace. You know, the Japanese and the Chinese seem to have a good understanding of creating peace, or at least profiting from it. But my point is, are there no international offers for resettlement? I mean, do these Arab countries, are these people just political pawns for hateful people in the surrounding area? Is that really, they're just all victims of shitty leadership from all these other, Arab monarchies?
Pretty much, yeah.
It just seems ridiculous that we see no media or communication. Like, the King of Saudi Arabia has extended an olive branch and is offering to resettle 200,000 Palestinians in a new super city that he will build for where the fuck is the international assistance, from like-minded people who are fucking Muslims? It's just like, how is it Israel's responsibility for everything? Why can't there be, some type of compromise and planning to essentially, take these people out of a fucking toxic war zone?
There's not, because their goal is to all go against Israel. That's the number one thing. It's all about a land dispute and getting the Jews out of the land and them staying there. It's really what it comes down to.
Well, what is the Abraham Accords? What did Kushner and Trump actually achieve with those agreements?
Peace between the UAE, Oman, Bahrain, other Gulf Arab countries. Trade travel. Pretty much that's it. The number one thing would be for Egypt to, say, hey, we'll open our borders and, you guys can come here. That will never happen.
Yeah, well, Egypt doesn't want to get infiltrated by a bunch of jihadists. I mean,
Very happy jihadists to live there. Trust me.
yeah, there's a lot of jihadism in Egypt. That's like the Muslim educational capital of the world. I mean, don't people go to Egypt to study Islam in all these Wahhabist schools or etc.? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and they study it in a radical way, I would say. Look at the guy from Colorado. That guy was fucking Egyptian.
Yeah.
And then you meet some of them in this fucking app that are Egyptian, and you hear what they say. They sound like terrorists.
Yeah, that one guy, the Egyptian, whatever the hell that guy's name is. I heard him.
Yeah,
crying.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah, I feel like he would be this Mohammed guy from fucking Boulder. He's just like this, the same kind of image of what this guy is.
You know what's weird to me is these guys hate each other. It seems to me pretty much as they hate Jews and Christians. I'm just looking at their history. They spend most of their time killing each other.
Yeah, when the Jews are not involved, but when Israel's involved in something,
Due to
all guys.
proximity, they kill who they're near. Anywhere in the world. Whoever's close to them.
This is like a really toxic mind virus. I have a friend here in Chicago who's probably on the spectrum. He's a software developer, and he posts, Palestinian baby photos all the time. And I'm like, how many of these photos do you carry around on your phone? But then he's also posting strange, I would call pederastic hentai cartoons. And so it's like this conflict brings out the worst in people, and it gives them an excuse for bad behavior. So it's like peak mental health mixed with peak propaganda, which is killing babies, killing women, and genocide. So it's the perfect storm to break people, to get them to actually maybe commit some type of a terrorist act. I mean, this is like the perfect storm via communication. I mean, and it was even more intense in the beginning of the conflict. It's just like, I don't know, people are so polarized by this, and it inflames their pre-existing mental health condition.
That's exactly what we saw from the guy from Colorado and the guy from Washington, who wasn't even a Muslim. When you're screaming free Palestine before you commit a terrorist attack, yeah, that's exactly what you just mentioned right there, comedian. It's exactly the definition of that.
Did you know that the Ottomans attacked? They conquered Hungary and attacked Vienna. That's how far east they went. I'm sorry, west. Did you know that? And they also attacked Portugal.
It was an Islamic caliphate, essentially, right?
What's that?
I mean, it's an Islamic caliphate. I mean, but how do you view British involvement because of their monarchy? Like all these monarchies in the Middle East. I mean, do you view monarchies as a form of government as being? It's not democratic. So it's like those monarchies are essentially caliphates. I mean, they are Islamic caliphates. Like MBS is the king of an Islamic caliphate. the Dubai sheikhs. Like, these are Islamic caliphates. I mean, I don't know why. I know why they followed the model. It's because of the British.
They fight the Persians. This is the Ottoman Turks. Then they beat them for a while. Then they attack Europe. I think caliphate implies though no borders and like the uniting of all of the Muslims. Like, they don't recognize national boundaries. They supersede that. No, they're part of the Ummah. So by the end of the 16th century, Suleiman the Magnificent goes down, and that's when the empire really it decays. Since after that, it declines. Meanwhile, gunpowder is becoming more widespread. As you can tell, I'm sort of speed reading this history of the Middle East, trying to figure these people out.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just gonna say, have you ever heard of the Mamelukes?
Yeah, you were talking about them yesterday.
Yeah, so the Italian, if you're an Italian, like, or a New Yorker, like, don't be a Mameluke means you're stupid, like, don't be stupid. But they were a big empire, which was eventually defeated by the Ottomans, both of them Muslim. I don't know if this is not interesting. Meanwhile, they're fighting with the Romans.
Yeah, I mean, I've like read some pages from Quran, and it's kind of interesting because you don't actually get history from the Quran. So it's like, if you call yourself a Muslim, and you study the glorious Quran, you still don't know shit about the history of Islam and about who the hell Muhammad was, and the whole militaristic and political history of Islam. So it's like, it's not a very good book. I don't know if you've ever actually opened the Quran and like tried to read it.
No.
But
Never saw it.
It's definitely like somebody from the desert with no significant education. It's short. It's like, it's incomplete sentences. It's just like this very rough, brutal, stupid book. It's not very good, and it's kind of funny. It's like, you've never really heard anybody on this app ever actually get into it or read significant passages and then debate the passages, because there's just not much there. It's a very bad book. If that's the basis of the faith, holy shit, open up your eyes and expand your book collection. It's just not enough to in my opinion, to validate this updated version of God's final revelation. It's a bad essay.
The big confrontation with Christendom with Europe occurred in the late 1600s, which is the 17th century, when they basically failed to take Europe. But they have every intention. They did very well in Africa and Asia, right? They did great in Indonesia. There's a big inroads in the Philippines, all throughout. They converted a lot of Africa. That's a lot,
Well, isn't it the simplicity of conversion? You don't actually have to do anything significant. You just have to verbally affirm that you are a Muslim. I mean, there's no actual it's expansion by conquest. So submit or die, and so it can spread rapidly. And plus, you can have multiple wives, so you can rapidly create more people. I mean, it's like primed and organized for as fast of expansion as it can be. It's like it simplifies indoctrination.
Do you know, basically, there was no such thing as Greece throughout this entire period. It was just dominated by the Ottomans. There was no Greece. It was controlled by the Turks, by the Muslims. And it's only in the 20th century that Greece sort of wrestled itself free from Ottoman domination. And the last little vestige of that is Cyprus, which is half Greek and half Turkish, which people don't acknowledge the Turkish part. I'm mentioning all this just to point out how the things that we're fighting are the same things that people have been fighting for centuries. Clash of civilizations, I guess.
Yeah, but now the battle landscape is more in the mind's eye than ever before because of cell phones and digital implants and that type of communication. So it's like
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's the next level.
In other words, everybody is like envisioning it. You don't see it.
Yeah, it's the weaponization of the mind. I mean, to create, political upheaval, social upheaval. I mean, and TikTok is the deliverer of a lot of this type of neurolinguistic programming, visual programming that is mind virusing and infecting, the global mind. I mean, and causing people to become polarized.
I don't really look at TikTok except when somebody sends me a link.
Okay, I'm headed out of here. Good Shabbos. Have a good one. Harry, Illumi, Peekaboo, Eitan, Guy, Mandarin. God bless.
Take it easy, bro.